welcome to CommanderCast episode 314. We're your weekly source for community, strategy, and technology, hosted on our home site, CommanderCast.com. And this week we've got special guest Mike returning in the house. Mike, this is becoming a regular thing, brother.
I know, it's pretty awesome.
This is pretty good. I like this.
This is my bucket list.
That's an extremely modest bucket list to get on our podcast, but I appreciate it.
I'm a pretty modest guy.
That's good stuff, man. And of course, we also have Adam too. Last but not least.
Up?
So, gentlemen, we have things to be cranky about in community today.
Oh yes, we do.
Yeah, so we're not gonna slow roll you on that, ladies and gents. Other than that, I don't know. News for the week. There's a couple little spoilers, I guess, for Dominaria. Things that hadn't already got spoilers.
Things other than the stuff that was leaked before.
Yeah, nothing's blowing my hair back. But
There was, I was reading on Reddit. Some guy wanted to let's brew the blue gin. What's it called? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you brew that? Why wouldn't you just not brew that?
Yes, I think that is it.
It has flash, and it only costs $4 for a 5/6 flyer.
Okay. And then what?
Yeah, no, I know. It's that. Yeah, it's Gin Tribal.
Ooh.
Boy,
Yeah. None of it sounds good. I know.
Yep.
Well, I mean, let's say you were going to do Gin Tribal, you'd want to throw red in there because all the cool ones are in red.
Are they?
Yeah, mostly. Like the big beery ones are mostly in red. And the only good blue one I could think of is Mahamoti.
Yeah, what's that?
I mean, Gin of Wishes is not bad.
I don't even know what that does.
Fair enough.
Good go. Don't build Gin Tribal.
Aww. Yeah, I mean, could you not honestly just put in like any other random blue commander? Like if you just wanted blue, like generic blue, I guess this is your way to go.
So other news, no. So other than Brawl, because we can pour the salt all over that. That's fine. Let's wait for that. Let's talk about Firesong and Sunspeaker for a second.
Okay, so I actually have to spend, I don't know what it's like for you guys to buy a box. I have to spend 130 of my fucking dollars to buy a Magic card that I can play once.
Yep.
I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to be happy about it.
None of the places around me will guarantee a promo.
Well, then
what's the point?
That you're not going to buy the box.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. I mean, I called one of the major suppliers of the country.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I want to pre-order a box. You guys have a good price on it. Your store is local. Can you guarantee them? And they were like, oh, well, no, because it's first come, first serve. And I was like, cool, that's fine. If you know how many promos you're getting, how many buy boxes you're getting, then cross-reference that with how many orders you have so far and just let me know. So they're like, no, we can't do that. I was like, okay, well, see you later.
Store that's pretty close to my girlfriend's house. I drop in there because they're a pretty good shop. And I talked to the owner there, and he told me he was getting 40 of the Fire Songs.
Right.
Okay. So he knows how many he's getting.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I don't know if you guys saw this article, but Wizards is releasing the buy a box promos to certain stores a week early.
Ooh.
Oh, well, yeah, because the boxes are going to go on sale a week early. Boxes are going to be available during pre-release.
But only during pre-release.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're looking at buying your pre-release box from one of these stores that does it, you need to be on the ball, especially if you're just looking for that buy a box promo, because otherwise, if that store is a busy store, they're going to get in there and scoop up all the promos, and then you're going to come in a week later when you think the buy box is ready for you, and all promos are going to be gone.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like Firesong and Sunspeaker is interesting, but not interesting enough for me to pay $50 or whatever it's going to end up being. This is the dumbest promotion I have ever seen.
Now, come on. This is Wizards we're talking about. This is the history of dumb promotions.
No. I don't care. No, this is stupid. This is the card they specifically printed for Commander.
No,
I'm sorry. Like, let's Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. They printed this for Brawl.
Yes. Okay. For Brawl. Yeah. Fair enough. Which we'll get into. And then they're just going to neuter the supply right off the bat?
Yeah. Because what they're doing, like from an economic standpoint, is they're creating an artificial demand on these pre-release boxes.
Yeah, but has there ever been an issue with box sales not exceeding the number of buy-a-box promos? I don't think that's ever existed. So this is creating just false hype.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so that's just stupid.
I mean,
And
yes.
At this point, I don't even want to buy a box anymore. Like, I wanted to buy a box going into this before I even knew about the buy a box promo. And now, when you play your little Trixies, I almost want to be like, you know what, whatever. I'll buy singles. And then Wizards can make less money.
Yeah, I stopped buying boxes in Shadows.
Yeah, fair.
And I just started buying singles, and I'd been told for years to do it. But like, I'm a collector, so I would want the whole set.
It's the right thing to do, though.
But after Shadows, I was really let down on the design and everything, and I thought, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to buy the singles I want. And I was going to do the exact same thing for Dominaria, even though, like, it's going back to the place where I started playing Magic in. I was still not interested in buying a box, and then they said, this is a buy a box only promo. And I thought, well, I can buy the box and not have to put up with the bullshit of like running around eBay trying to track one of these things down for a reasonable price. I can just deal with it right away, get the card, and I'll get good cards out of my box, or I'll get some amount of cards out of my box, and that's fine. But like, it's just such a shitty way for Wizards to allow me to play their game.
Yeah.
Do you guys think it stinks of desperation?
Yes.
There's a lot of things that they're doing recently that stink of desperation.
Yep.
Yeah. It's kind of unfortunate when you see that. I mean, no one hopes to see a company at least a company that you patronize regularly, like Spiral the Drain. Maybe they'll get a boost from Magic Arena. I hear a lot of good stuff from that coming out. That's a whole separate thing we'll cover in a community segment someday. But yeah, I'm not really a fan of the way they've been rolling out Dominaria. Me personally, I've not bought a box since Avacyn Returns. And I haven't been unhappy with that move because it saved me a bunch of money and space in my house that I don't need for like thousands of commons. But hey, you know, whatever. I mean, every set that comes out and I'm excited about, like I am legit excited about Dominaria. And it seems like if I was going to buy a box and I'm primarily a Commander player, like this would be the one to get.
Yeah.
Still, I can't really justify.
There's a lot of interesting, legendary creatures.
Yeah. I mean, you're certainly going to get
interesting, not necessarily good. Interesting.
This desperation is of their own making, though. Like this isn't the market going, oh well, you know what? We're getting tired of Magic. This is Wizards saying, let's see if we can make more money, and then they do something stupid, and then the community reacts, and then they have to like try to do something else to shore up those losses, but the things that they're doing is never saying, oh, we fucked up. Let's fix what we fucked up and put it back the way it was and see if we can make the way it was better. It was, whatever, community doesn't know what they're talking about. Let's keep doing stupid shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think what they're trying to do, and to kind of segue into Brawl, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to produce a whole bunch of products that aren't very difficult for them to produce. To see, I think they're in an experimental phase. I think they're trying to see what products will really stick. From the Vault started to die off, so they're like, okay, that's not going to work. So Brawl is going to be one of their new endeavors, and I think from a marketing standpoint, it's actually a good idea for EDH players who are like indoctrinated, EDH players. I think it's a horrible idea.
Well, that's a good place. I think that's a good place to break it up here, and then we can pour all the salt on Brawl we want to right after this break. So keep up with the conversation on Facebook and Twitter, folks, and then prepare for the salt truck to come in community. Yeah, this is silly.
I'm going to be less salty than you guys.
I'm not.
I actually see the reason why they're doing it, and
I
I don't think it's a stupid reason.
I see the reason why they're doing it too. I just don't like it. I just think it's kind of
I can see the reason 100%. There's no issues there, but there's two reasons I don't like it. But we'll
Fair.
Yeah. In community this week, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you haven't heard, a couple days ago, which would be 2 weeks ago now by the time the show comes out, Wizards decided, specifically Garrett Turner, decided to come up with a new format, a new mini format, I guess. I hesitate to call this new because it's just a variation on Commander. Like if Shu's site was still up, this would be just a regular old variant. The important part here, I suppose, is that A, they took what was finally a cool Boros commander and threw it in there, and B, they have just kind of messed with the rules a little bit. It's kind of like standard EDH. Like if you did a standard block EDH deck and then cut it down to 60 cards, that's essentially what you have with Brawl.
Look, this is destined to be popular. I mean, remember Tiny Leaders?
Well, no, I don't. What was that? And I think you can sense the sarcasm in that one.
So, to read from the site, and I'll link the article in the show notes, folks. The short version is you build a 60-card standard legal deck around a legendary creature or planeswalker. You can have only one copy of a given card in your deck other than basic lands. Your legendary creature or planeswalker starts in the command zone and works the same way they might be used to from Commander. You cast it for its mana cost, and again for an additional 2 mana each time. Each player starts with 30 life. There are some other ones, some other, minor things in there, but that's fine. Like the mana symbols in your commander dictate what cards might be in your deck. Pretty much standard Commander, except it's 60 cards and it's limited.
Damage.
What's that?
Except for no commander damage.
That's okay. So
there we go.
That's
a
one
big
of
one.
my huge sticking points is that there's no commander damage.
Yeah.
See, that's interesting. In my meta for the longest time, we just didn't do commander damage. We've gotten back to it now, but yeah.
You didn't have that rule, or you just
we just kind of house ruled it. I mean, that has been several years ago now, but we house ruled it. I want to say, oh god, I mean, this was so long ago. I think bounce was still a thing, it was tuck was still a thing. That was the last time we tried it, rather. So and we've brought it back since, but I don't know, commander damage around me wasn't ever that big a deal. So.
That is a bold move, Cotton. I don't know about that.
I mean, it has since gone the way of the dinosaur, but,
For me, commander damage I like it for two reasons. One, it helps you out when you're really stuck against some guy who's got 500 life.
Yes.
Right? Okay. The other thing I like about it is, to me, it makes sense in a flavor win way, in that my commander's super powerful and he only needs to hit you X amount of times for you to lose the game. That's just how baller this guy is. So when you take that out, now all you're really saying is that my commander is a repeatable combo piece in my deck. It takes the flavorness out of it and just makes it a card you get to cast multiple times.
Yeah. Agreed.
I can see that, but I think, important to this is we also used to use what I will just call the Andy rule, with beginning, every player begins with 30 life instead of 40 life, which is what Brawl does as well.
Right.
And we found that balanced out, and it gave aggro a little more stretch, cause, hitting 120 life around a 4-player game is tough. 90 is a lot more doable if you're gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Other than that, I said I was going to salt brawl it, but go ahead, Adam. I think you had the best read on this, or why they did it.
So I think there's a couple reasons. I think that one, this is, and they've talked about this concept for a really long time. This is a good entry point to Commander for people who have only been playing for a year. Okay,
sure.
So you want to play Commander, you're interested in the format to a certain extent. You have a very small card pool, 1,000, maybe 2,000 cards in Standard at any given time, something like that. This does make, they're obviously going to try to make Brawl decks. They're probably going to cost less than the Commander products. They'll probably be $25 or something like that. they might even be decent, like we've seen with the what are those newest decks that they just put out that had like Chandra and a whole bunch of actual good standard cards in it.
You mean the Planeswalker decks?
No, they're putting out a new product that like one of the 4 power or the 4 ability Chandras in it, and like all of the good artifacts are in it, and like there's standard showdown. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think that's what they're called. Something along. Yeah. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they're MSRP'd for like $25, and they're actually good decks. Like they have 20 rares in them or something like that, you know. So I mean, Brawl gives them the opportunity to do another product like that leads people into Commander, but without demanding all of the old cards to it. That's read number 1. That's the first thing that you see. You're like, oh, okay. I see this as like the beginner product that's probably going to have a product that goes along with it.
Can I repeat that?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So one of the things I hear about from the standard players at our game store is that standard is so expensive, and I don't want to have to keep rotating all these super expensive cards.
Sure.
The rotation, blah, blah, blah. Well, if that's the case, then standard is just as expensive to get into as Commander. And to quote from the article here that they posted on the Wizards website, as awesome as Commander is, it can be pretty hard to get into. It's technically an eternal format like Vintage or Legacy, meaning some of the most important and powerful cards in the format are also pretty old. Okay, so stop the quote there. I think what they're implying that is that because the cards are pretty old, they're pretty expensive. But
yeah,
we're looking at standard cards. The prices are ridiculous until they rotate out, right? So
yes.
Still putting that cash towards something that is expensive. You're not going, oh, I get into standard for $30.
I think they're aiming this toward pack crackers, you know, toward the kids who have like an allowance and they buy 2 packs a week or something like that. And so they have some level of standard collection anyway.
Right.
And so they just have random one-ofs, you know, they don't have 4-ofs that are going to get you into like a standard tournament deck, but they have a whole bunch of one-ofs, and, you know, they can buy one of these products for like $20, $25, you know, blow their allowance on that, and then, you know, just augment it with the stuff that they already have lying around from the last year or so.
But they already do that once a year with the Commander products.
Yeah, but then you're only adding the stuff that you've bought in packs from standard packs. So you're adding standard packs to Commander decks. When my play group does the pre-constructed ones, yeah, we buy the precons and then we start augmenting them with older cards.
Right.
You know, so this to a certain extent avoids that. But here's the real reason that I don't think they really spoke to, but I think this is why Brawl actually exists. MTG Arena, they have very much said they are not planning on backfilling it with a whole bunch of Eternal cards.
Okay.
They have also said that they are not planning on having a multiplayer format necessarily on there. However, there has been an outcry for a format that's similar to EDH on there. Well, we don't have to program in commander damage. We only have to change the life total. We don't have to backfill anything. And we now have Brawl on there.
All right.
Which will be another product that you can buy on there. They'll probably have the precons available for that. Your economy works completely differently, so you don't have to necessarily invest as much money in building standard-based decks. And I think that that's where the motivation is really coming from.
I do like the tinfoil hat conspiracy on this one. I am pro conspiracy. So
yeah,
yep.
It's a pretty solid theory.
Yep. I like. Yeah. And you know what? Honestly, if that's the trade-off I would have to make to play like Commander on Magic Arena, I would probably make it.
Versus one person using a 60 card deck.
Sure. Yeah.
That they can put a Chandra ahead of.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind this. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever done this before. It's just like a deck brewing challenge. I'm sure you probably have. Like, you've brewed like standard legal decks before, like standard EDH decks.
I have actually not done that. I've wanted to, but I never have.
I built my Lorwyn and Block tribal.
Nice.
So it's just straight from Lorwyn and Shadowmoor. So like I've done that, but it's hard. But at 100 cards, pretty hard.
I mean, I am glad they reduced it to 60 because you're like, I've done it with Innistrad block because I really love that block. And that's really hard because, man, I tell you what, like, you get some real shit after a while, you know?
Well, yeah. With 60 cards, it's more doable in a standard format.
Yeah, 100%.
There was an article I read on Reddit last night where this guy parodies the Brawl announcement, and he goes, "Yeah, we lowered it to 60 cards because we don't print 100 playable cards in the set."
That's not untrue.
Yeah, man. From the mouths of babes. Yep. Well, how about this? To put a bow on this community segment, folks, anything else that we want to talk about for Brawl? I mean, to me...
Yeah, actually, I got one more thing that this is where I really worry, is that people are going to take this Brawl thing and then they're going to start saying, well, you know, Commander itself has had 40 life for so many years. Maybe it's a good idea if we lower it to 30. Maybe it's a good idea if we take out Commander damage. And maybe it's a good idea if we allow Planeswalkers as generals.
Sure.
You know, then the game's going to turn into 100-card Brawl with a bigger card pool. And it just seems like if it's too close to Commander for my liking. Because there's going to be a bleed over. People are going to go, well, like I don't know if you guys listen to the Command Zone podcast.
Yeah.
They just did a State of Commander of 2018, and one of the questions they asked is, should we get rid of general damage? And this was before the Brawl announcement. Now, I know those are in tight with Wizards. So, you know, there's another conspiracy theory for you. Maybe they're starting to plant the bug in your ear.
Wait, are you trying to say that, like, the Command Zone is the Fox News of the current administration? Is that the analogy we're going for?
I wouldn't go that far. Those guys aren't assholes. They're pretty cool. Like, I watched them.
I was trying to, you know, suss out where we're going with this. You know what?
Close.
As a guy who, like, I regularly play with 30 life instead of 40 life, you know, I used to not play with Commander damage, and now I play with it back just because, but, you know, people have rotated out of my play group and they like Commander damage, and I'm fine with it. I think it's probably ironic that the big Timmy guy in the cast is the one arguing that I don't care about Commander damage. But that's also because I don't win very many games. I don't give a shit anyway. So, to me, it wouldn't be that big a deal. I think this is closer and a little more, like, if you're worrying about bleed over, it's a little more insidious than Tiny Leaders, which went over like a fart in church. Like, who gives a shit? This one, to use a different fart metaphor, will just go out like a fart in the breeze, man. Like, I'm sure it'll come out and be like, oh, look. And then I would be surprised if the next time a set comes around, we were even talking about Brawl.
I agree.
I don't think that this is going to dilute things that much. In my opinion, if the rules committee has lost their way enough that this does start to impact EDH, I think that you'll see a giant schism in which nobody follows the rules committee anymore, and people who like playing EDH just play EDH.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of, if something doesn't work for your play group, then house rule it. But like I said before, I mean, I travel the province here, and we go to different stores to play in different metas, and so what's good for your meta might be different than what's good for mine. And if people start house ruling everything, then it's just...
Yeah, it makes it hard.
Yeah.
For deck construction. Yeah, absolutely.
I remember driving out to a store to play, and I didn't even know what deck I was running, just some shitty goblin thing. And they said, oh, you can't do this or this or this. And I was like, well, why the fuck not? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Rules. And I actually had to put the deck away because my deck did those things. So it's just kind of shitty that if everybody house rules, then there's no consistency, which it makes it harder to go from place to place.
I mean, as EDH is like its own little anarchic commune, like, we still do look towards the rules committee as even people who don't really follow the rules committee all the time. Like, Mike, I'm on your board. Like, we always kind of house rule what we don't like anyway. So, you know, like, back in the day, like, remember ages ago when Kakusho was on the banned list, and I fucking still play with Kakusho. And, like, that was actually a big thing on Commander Cast for a long time. Like, trying to rally and lobby to get Kakusho off the banned list, when it's really like, who gives a shit, you know?
Well, my favorite card in Magic is Black Braids.
Yeah, I love that card, man. I used to have a Black Blades deck. Yeah.
She's the hottest chick. And I've told my girlfriend, I'm like, this is the hottest woman in Magic. And she's looked at the card and she's like, you're fucking weird. But like, I can't play that card because even if we house rule it here in my town, which I'm sure my friends would, they all know that I like it and they all know that I don't abuse it and I would never use it as a commander. I can't take that deck somewhere else.
Yeah. Right.
Toronto and sit down and play and people are like, oh, Black Raids, that's against the rules. Get out of here.
Yeah. I do the same thing with Rafellos. So I cried a lot that day. So.
Wow, my buddy Dan, he has the biggest boner for Rafellos. Like, he just goes out, or he used to at least, go and buy as many as he could. And, like, if there was even one forest in a fucking deck, Rafellos was going in.
I mean, all right, that is a level of love I don't have for Rafellos, but I am sad I can't play it.
Rafellos, I laughed my ass off because I was just like, oh, you just got fucked so hard.
Yeah, it is fun to laugh at other people's pain. But in that spirit, folks, any other last thoughts about Brawl before we move on to strategy today?
It'll be a flash in the pan. It'll go away. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck Brawl.
Yeah. Yes, there we go. Flash in the pan, fuck Brawl, who cares? So, strong opinions today, folks. But if you guys have any ideas about Brawl, if you want to share anything, or maybe you're really excited about it, I mean, there's got to be somebody out there who's probably like, yeah, fucking A, 60-card commander deck. I don't know who. Maybe someone who's like rooting for tiny leaders to come back. I don't know. There's got to be a weird Venn diagram here that this fits. Otherwise, they wouldn't put, resources behind it. So
tiny leaders can go die in a garbage fire.
Adam, please don't sugarcoat it. I really hate it when you don't tell me your opinions. You don't have to be like politically correct on this podcast. It's fine.
I know. I try.
But anyway, folks. So yeah, if you guys have positive, I would actually really like to hear like a good defense of Brawl that like someone's excited about it.
Yeah.
It would be kind of neat to see it from that end. So if you are, let me know. If you'd like to shit on it in the comment section too. I mean, hey, we're pro shitting on things, so it's fine. And join us in a moment or two after the interstitial for strategy, where we're gonna re-spark the old debate between spot removal and mass removal, folks. So stick with us. Yay. I actually haven't heard this debate in quite some time. I do remember people being super salty about it originally, but not lately.
I think it was put to rest. I think everybody was like, yeah, fuck spot removal.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah. That's interesting, because that's kind of the opposite around me. I mean, people still run lots of mass removal, but there's like plenty of spot removal going flying back and forth. But this is going to be interesting then.
Perfect.
In strategy this week, ladies and gents, we're going back to the well to dig up an oldie but a goodie, the debate between spot removal and mass removal. So just to clarify, this is essentially the difference between whether or not you want to wipe everything off the board with like a Wrath of God, or if you just want to target one player's creatures with like a Swords to Plowshares or a Path to Exile. All right. The old argument being, and gentlemen, feel free to jump in and correct me if I'm wrong here, that why in a multiplayer format would you waste your card advantage doing a one-for-one trade when then you were down relative to everybody else, whereas you could just wipe everything off the board and start fresh. Did I miss anything here?
No, I think that's basically the debate.
Yeah. So where do you guys think this the state of the debate is at the current moment?
Personally, I think the debate needs to be looked at because mass removal is not always your best option. Okay, so I have a neighbor who has a barking dog.
Yes.
I don't like this dog. That doesn't mean I'm going to go and burn down every fucking house on my block just to get rid of that dog.
Yeah, so
I'm
we're
not opposed to that idea.
Yeah, we're not pro genocide on Commander Cast. It was a strong, controversial topic, but yeah,
No, I'm not opposed to that.
Mike, I'm with you. Like, I've always been of the if it's not coming towards me, it's not a threat type. You know what I mean? Like, if threats are going to be on the board, I don't need to wipe a board to make sure that my position in the game is still secure. Sometimes I just need to take care of the thing that's coming towards me, or I just need to take care of the one thing that is the biggest threat to me at the moment. I don't need to then, like, hit the reset button and then everybody start over again. So.
Right. And I would throw a caveat on there that it's not just the biggest threat coming towards you. Like, let's say the three of us are playing a game and maybe Adam's got something that's gonna wreck you, Mark. Maybe it's a good idea for me to take that out of the way. Because if I can keep you around a little bit longer, I can, by proxy, use some of your resources to get Adam to a worse position.
No, that's smart strategy, I think.
When I'm playing, I'll look at the board and I'll look at my spot removal and say, like, is there anything that is going to be first and foremost an issue to me and stop me from progressing my game state? And if there is, I'm going to deal with that. Is there anything that's, the second thing on the list, is there anything that's going to wreck my opponent's ability to deal with the group as a whole? Then I might get rid of that as well. And then the third thing was, is there something that's bad for everybody? Let's get rid of that as well.
All right, so here's my perspective. A long time ago, the world had lost its way. Not everyone was evil. Not all of them. But many of the people had lost their way. And God saw fit to bring a flood and wipe out everything. And what's good for God is good for me.
Like the card flood? Because that's not a good card.
No, not that good.
I'm glad.
I'm just saying, hey, the world's looking pretty bad. I'm going to blow everything up now.
Sure. If you've got a situation where you have multiple threats on the board coming at you from different ways, like different people, then, yeah, maybe it is time for a reset. But don't forget, after that reset, you're going to be the last one that's probably going to be putting stuff on the table.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not gonna like keep a Wrath of God in my hand when the guy next to me is popping out tokens like a Mogwai in a hot tub, Right. That's like, sometimes you just need to stop whatever's going on the board because it's gonna get out of control. I'm pro doing that. Like, no one's saying that, like, oh yeah, whatever, just kind of let bygones be bygones and let it fly. I'm talking about that old debate about card advantage where people will specifically never choose the targeted removal over the mass removal. And I don't think that's right in every situation.
I put more mass removal than I do targeted removal.
I almost play 0 mass removal.
Whoa. Huh.
Yeah.
I generally play more spot removal than mass removal, but I'll always put a couple reset buttons in there just in case.
No, I said almost no. So, since I'm a pretty big Jund player, I run Living Death and
Sure.
I do Blasphemous Act. But beyond those two, I'm not a huge fan of resetting the board. I'll just pick and choose what needs to go and deal with the things that are causing me a headache.
So no damnation for you, huh, Mike?
I own 4 damnations, I think, and I have 3 of them in a binder right now.
Okay. I mean, I'm a cheap bastard, so I own 0 damnations. But I mean, I own plenty of like black mass removal,
Right.
Oh, I have the damnations for dirt cheap. I go to GPs and I buy all the cards that are damaged.
Oh,
fair enough.
That's a good one too.
So yeah, I mean, my perspective on board wipes is completely based on entire board state assessment. So like, if I look at the board and I am currently in an okay position, I don't remove anything because again, if it's not coming at me, then I don't really have to worry about it. Now, something might change the next time something comes at me, but if I have blockers and even if something comes at me, I don't really care, then I don't do anything about it. If I'm way behind and everybody else is ahead, then I blow up the board. That's pretty much it. There's very few instances where I have to derivate from that to use spot removal. And that spot removal better be amazing and super efficient.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Here's a hypothetical game state for you. Your opponent has on the table 10 lands.
Yep.
He's got Cathar's Crusade, and there's an Avenger of Zendikar on the stack. Would you rather have mass removal in your hand, and let's call it even instant speed mass removal for creatures, or Crossing Grip?
So Crossing Grip is, first of all, Crossing Grip is one of the very few spot removals that I will run. So he still gets the dudes. I'd rather have the mass removal.
Really?
Huh.
I would pinpoint take out that Cathar's Crusade, let him get 10-0-1s, because I don't care, as opposed to have him drop that Avenger of Zendikar, pick up, he's going to get 11 creatures entering the battlefield, the Avenger plus the 10 tokens.
Right.
They're all going to come in with 11 counters on them.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
They're going to be huge, which
Yep.
I can now take care of with my board wipe. Now, if you just get rid of Cathar's Crusade, you still end up with, let's say it's a smart player, the person has a Terramorphic Expanse in their hand, they're all going to actually be 2/3s.
Yeah.
Okay? So now you're still dealing with 20 power with no solution, but you got rid of an enchantment that, yes, would have made it game ending. Well, 20 power is often game ending anyway. So you solved a problem, but you didn't solve the problem of you dying.
Well, now hold on. We're not assuming that's only assuming that all that 20 power is coming your way, and that's the calculus that I would make at the time. Like,
Sure.
you know, who is that guy most likely to attack? Now, if I just blew up his Cathar's Crusade, it's probably going to be me.
Right.
But you never know. I mean, first of all, in my meta, like, you're playing with fire if you ever decide to throw out a Cathar's Crusade, because that fucking enchantment's never making its way around the board.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's that.
Yeah, but, I do think that if you have to kind of assess the board, and you have to assess where the damage is going, like what the life totals are. I think there's just too many variables to say that I would always pick the mass removal, because very oftentimes I think I'm in Mike's boat. I probably wouldn't. Not to say that's the correct call, because again, I don't win very many games, but that's what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, like, yes, obviously the weighing of the rest of the board say, I mean, everything else being equal, I guess, is what we have to, say. Like, you have no idea where that person is swinging. Assume everybody's life total is threatened at that point. Like everybody's at 20 and has no blockers.
Yep.
This is going to kill everybody potentially.
Okay, but here let's just add a little bit more to this, like a little bit deeper thought. Let's say you're not going to die from that Avenger, right? Your mass removal is going to take the Avenger and all the plant tokens out, but it's going to leave the Cathar's Crusade.
Yeah.
So if this guy is playing Avenger of Zendikar as well as Cathar's Crusade, unless he's a terrible deck builder and that's his 2-card win condition, he's probably going to have other cards which are going to put tokens onto the battlefield.
Sure.
So if that's the case, if you wipe out all of his tokens on this go-around, odds are his next turn is going to be to play something else, which is going to drop another piss pile of tokens on, and you're going to have the exact same scenario all over again. But the odds of you drawing another mass removal spell are going to start to wear thin. Then yeah, if you're at a table where everybody's ganging up on this guy, sure, maybe everybody's got one in their hand that they can deal with this.
Right.
But by getting rid of that Cathar's Crusade, you're opening him up to take some pressure from other people in other manners. Like, now he has to leave up blockers because he's not going to just win right off this turn type thing. So that's where I come from, is that I look at this stuff and I think, yeah, you get your big swingy Avengers Zendikar and all your 10 dudes, but they're not as big as if you have the Cathar's Crusade out as well. So let's take that out and see if, the table can rally together and chew away at those guys one at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but by the same token, like if after the Cathar's Crusade, you start to become the target, if your other opponents don't have anything that they plan with threes, then you're probably still going to lose that game. So
if you're going to lose, you're going to lose.
Purely, which one would I rather have in my hand at any given time? Because not only am I taking care of his stuff, I'm taking care of everybody else's board too. So the Catharsis Crusade only stops me from being killed by him.
Right.
So the other alternative, playing a route at the end of his turn, stops me from being killed by everybody.
See, I think maybe that's where you and I fundamentally differ, is that I look at the other players at the table as extensions of my own board state. If I can rally one or two other players against taking out the guy who's my biggest threat, then, my board state's just doubled or trebled.
Yeah, that's a lot too much like depending on a clone deck for me. Like, you never depend on somebody else's deck to be decent.
Oh no, I'm not depending on it. Maybe if I use the word depend, then I apologize. I should have chosen my words better.
I don't know that you did. I'm just saying,
But I want you there so that I can exploit you.
Well, that's fine. Well, I mean,
and it sounds shitty, but
but the exploitation has to be guaranteed, and you have players who are not going to necessarily be as exploitable, or some that are just going to be too chaotic that they're not going to play along with your plan, and you're going to end up dying. So, I mean, that's a better way for me anyway is to just screw all that, stop with the politics at that point, and just end everybody's board.
I mean, I think if you're looking for surety,
you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, look, if you're looking for surety, I think you're going Adam's way, right? Like, you are definitely going to remove the threat. But I think you can safely bet on a few things in Magic. Like, you're going to safely bet that, like, damage is going to go around the table. You're going to safely bet that not every attack step is coming towards you, So I guess it's right. How comfortable you are with the uncertainty of a board state like that. Like, yeah, you're playing with fire a little bit if you're on Mike's side, because you are relying on other people. Maybe relying's not it. You're making a bet. You're playing the probability that player is going to have some resource that you could use to your advantage without expending your own resources. And that's not a bad bet most of the time. Like, you're going to have other people who take out things that are threatening to you, etc. Like, this varies. Like, I have to talk in such generalized terms because I'm trying to extrapolate for 1,000 different situations. But, I don't necessarily think that, well, I know we're not going to solve this today. However, I do think, like, the crux of it is, like, how comfortable, or it seems to be between the two of you guys, the crux is how comfortable you are with the uncertainty that you can leverage other people's resources against other players.
Right. Now, in the absence of me having a board wipe, I think that using the Crossing Grip on Catharsis Crusade is in no way, shape, or form a bad play. Like, it is definitely something that I would consider if I had both in my hand. I would probably lean toward casting Route instead. Yeah. But I can see the line, and it is not a bad line to destroy Catharsis Crusade. And I know lots of players who would make that choice over what I would do.
So, maybe I'm wrong, but you seem to me like when you play, you're playing to win from the get-go. Like, you're not playing to... I'm trying to think of the words to say this without sounding like a dick.
No, go for it. I don't care.
I play the game so that I'm coming in second place until I come in first place.
I gotcha.
And it sounds like you're playing to be in first the whole time, which is not a bad way to play, right? There's nothing wrong with it, but it's more resource intensive. Like, you have to take into account, okay, I need to do this, and this to win. Whereas I can kind of coast along. And,
sure, I gotcha. Yeah.
Right, I can pick and choose.
I tend to be more controlling. Like, I am definitely more of a control player where my early game looks a lot like just trying to stabilize. And stabilizing for me means nobody has any resources.
Okay, so maybe this is where the debate comes down to, is that what kind of player are you? And then once you've decided that question, it'll help you choose. Are you going to be playing more mass removal and a little bit less targeted removal? Or are you going to be playing more targeted removal because you don't need to be, that's not your game style?
Right.
See, we're both good people.
I mean, let's not push it. I'm really not.
I'll fucking destroy you.
Well, it's funny. I was walking out of my LGS, and like some random kid, I mean, they were just being goofy or whatever, and they were like, "Hey, you look like a nice guy," and that was like the end of their sentence, and I just like turned around and I was like, "You're a bad judge of character."
I'm glad that's not ominous and horrible. That's fine. I mean,
you could be like, "Here's some candy. Get in my white van."
Well, no, I'm just saying, like if your initial assessment of me is you're a nice guy, I think you've done poorly.
Again, nothing ominous about that at all, so that's fine. I think that's a good place to leave it. If we ever revisit this, I would like to see what the breakdown is. Like, some people who are more interested in numbers than me, I'm sure have been able to do a breakdown of like control archetypes in mass removal versus like other types of archetypes with spot removal. That's a really kind of fascinating deck breakdown that I would like to see. So maybe one of these days, if we revisit this topic, we should kind of come at it from that angle. I like that one, Mike. But
I would say this. I play a lot of mass bounce.
Oh, hey, evacuation, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So I run in my time traveling dinosaur deck, which is mono blue. I run all the mass bounce, and I've got no issues with that. And the reason I don't is because it's all at instant speed.
Right.
Right. So when you're looking at mass removal, to me, first off, the cost is super high. Like, you've got your Wrath of God, Day of Judgment, and Damnation, but then after that, it starts to get a little pricey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Toxic Deluge is pretty decent.
Okay, so there's 4, but the sorcery speed aspect of it sucks.
It's slower.
Yeah, I would
it definitely
agree with
is. Yeah. It's funny because the mass bounce, like especially in blue, like your removal tools are a lot more limited in blue, and I think bounce is frowned on for some weird reason. Like, bounce will get it off the board. Like, sometimes that's all you need. You don't necessarily like evacuation. We were talking about this a couple shows ago. How evacuation is one of my new favorite cards because I just apparently keep putting it in decks all over the damn place because I love that card. 5 mana instant speed, wipe a board. I'll take that a lot of times.
Yeah. We're running a race, from point A to point B, and there's something in the way, a big boulder. All you need to do is move that boulder out of the way for the 30 seconds it takes you to run past it. You don't need to destroy the fucking thing.
Yeah, hey, there's that too, right? Yeah. Unless you guys have anything else pressing that you want to talk about for this one, I think this is a good place to wrap up strategy and then move into how to overcome some of the card disadvantage of spot removal with talking about some 2-for-1 tech in our technology segment this week. Yay, 2-for-1 tech.
How are we going to divvy up who's doing what?
All right. Yeah. So what we normally do, Mike, is we just kind of call it like by highlighting it what we want. So I was going to start off. Yeah, I was going to start off just by like Ashes to Ashes. I think is a good primer for everybody.
I like it. Yeah.
Like that one, I'm going to read at the top of the segment and just say like, hey, this is what a good indication of 2-for-1 tech is. Like, yeah.
I'll remember this, and then so what? I want to be green.
Sweet. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Like, pick a color, and then we know that that's your color. Everything that's not highlighted by the end is the stuff we're not going to talk about. So.
Perfect.
Let's see.
I don't know what some of these do.
I don't know what any of these do. Mark, where the fuck did you get all these from?
Yeah, this is silly.
I'm going to be less salty than you guys.
I'm not.
I actually see the reason why they're doing it, and I don't think it's a stupid reason.
I think I see the reason why they're doing it too. I just don't like it. I just think it's kind of
I can see the reason 100%. There's no issues there, but there's 2 reasons I don't like it. But we'll
Fair.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gents, in technology this week, To try and mitigate the card disadvantage that you will get for playing spot removal in EDH, this week we're going to talk about some of our favorite 2-for-1 tech, meaning this is targeted removal that has the opportunity to target more than one thing at a time, or is replaceable enough, so like a flashback or a buyback effect, so that it will only occupy one spot in your deck, but could be used multiple times. So, 2-for-1 tech this week, I think, is best exemplified by one of my favorite cards, which we pour sugar on all the time, Ashes to Ashes. Ashes to Ashes is a 1 colorless and 2 black sorcery, which is the only downside to this card, which is very simple, and thus is the best exemplar of this category. Exile 2 target non-artifact creatures. Ashes to Ashes deals 2 damage to you. So that's essentially what we're talking about with the 2-for-1 tech. You can either do 2 or more targets for the 1 card. So it mitigates a little bit some of that card disadvantage. So if you're having trouble including spot removal, or maybe perhaps you've been a little hesitant to include more of it, maybe playing some of this stuff will, get around that. So.
Yeah, Ashes to Ashes is really good. I wouldn't say it's the only downside is that it's a sorcery. I mean, you do lose 5 life and it can't hit artifact creatures. There are downsides, but this card is amazing, and yes, play it.
Well, I would like to say that it's painted by Drew Tucker, if you buy the original one.
Yes. I mean, there is a 5th edition, I've heard, but no one buys that card. Just look at that art and then immediately never buy that card. Maybe never look at that art again.
The 4th edition or the dark are the way to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
The dark one is only 28 cents, so go for it.
Yeah. Strangely enough, it got bumped up to uncommon everywhere else, but it's a common in the dark. So.
Yeah.
Odd that the oldest printing is the cheapest, but hey, whatever. So now, we're not going to go through all the lists we put together. I should say I put together a list of a lot of different cards, some of which are straight dog shit, so you don't have to play all of them, but there are some interesting options here if you want to target more than one thing at once. So why don't we do a round robin? I'll go Adam, Mike, me, and then we'll go through our cards, folks.
That works.
Sweet. All right, so Adam, what do you got at the top?
So my first one is Curse of the Swine.
Curse of Piggies.
Yeah, Curse of the Swine is blue, and X for a sorcery that says exile target, or X target creatures. For each creature exiled this way, its controller puts a 2/2 green boar creature token onto the battlefield. Due to exiling Eldrazi to give them 2/2s is amazing, and to note that they're pig tokens in addition to that is just, it's the chef's kiss. Is what that is.
It's pretty good. I mean, you always have to get some kind of downside for exile removal in blue, right?
Yeah, but I mean, this really isn't that bad, because I mean, you should only be using this on, if somebody really goes off and has 2 or 3 or a couple people have 2 or 3 kind of key pieces, you don't ever want them to get it back, get rid of those.
Red has a version of this too.
It does.
What's it called? Indomitable something.
Creativity.
Is that what it is? I like that one, because I like using it on my own dudes too.
Yeah, if you build it right, and I tried to build that deck, and I was ho-hum about it.
Less than successful, perhaps?
Yeah, I tried to build the Indomitable Creativity polymorph, that whole thing, and I was like, this isn't as good as I want it to be.
Aww. Alrighty. Mike, what's your first card?
Deadly Designs. So Deadly Designs is a black and colorless enchantment that says pay 2, put a plot counter on Deadly Designs. Any player may activate this ability. And when there are 5 or more plot counters on Deadly Designs, sacrifice it, and if you do, destroy up to 2 target creatures. I think this card's hilarious. And every time I play this, and I do play this, my friends, they basically tell me that I'm retarded, and I should be wasting a card slot on something so shitty.
It's a weird card.
It is.
I have to say, it's a very weird card.
So, worst case scenario, you pay 12 to kill 2 guys.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Best case scenario, you pay 2 and kill 2 guys. I think it's just cool that it gets to bring other people into the game. You know what I mean? Like if you and I are playing and our opponent has something shitty, I can split those resources up and I can take half the job and you can take the other half the job and then we're good.
But then each person ends up paying 6?
Well, maybe that's okay.
I feel like maybe you went into the it's not.
I mean, Adam, don't we all just have some random amount of mana left over sometimes? Maybe we'll just plug into a Deadly Designs, And
that's actually not a bad argument for that card. I remember we had talked about it a while back, and I had said that, my Aiden Oakenshield deck does well because at the end of my turn, I've tapped out all my mana. And so if I'm using this as a mana sink, that's not a bad idea. At the end of your last opponent's turn, if you haven't used that mana for anything, why not just dump 2 mana into it, put a counter on it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's fine. I think the thing that makes me the saltiest about this is what was put in Masters 25 from Conspiracy Take the Crown.
Yeah. Of all the cards, right?
There really wasn't anything all that great in Conspiracy Take the Crown.
There was most other cards.
Wait,
but from specifically printed for that set, what's really good from that set?
I mean, wasn't there the almost Imperial Recruiter guy? Wasn't there a whole bunch of new legendary creatures?
$25 Selvala?
I don't think there was a whole lot of legendary guys. The Recruiter guy, yeah, that would have been pretty cool. But they already put Imperial Recruiter into the red slot.
Yeah.
So you can't really put 2 Recruiters in.
Oh, can't you?
No.
Come on, man, Selvala. Come on, that's like the ultimate timid card.
Been good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's in a mythic slot, right?
I'm sorry, could they not just...
I'm sorry, they could have maybe replaced Tree of Redemption. That would have been difficult.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there we go, then.
All right, so moving on from that gripe.
Yeah. So,
Mark, what's your next guy?
I'll move on to a card that's probably not very good, but I have a soft spot for it. So,
I like this card. I've never played it. I like it, though.
I've only ever played it in the Commander 2014, the mono black deck. Because it got reprinted in that deck. But, I don't know. And the art's pretty dope, too. So, Dregs of Sorrow is X, 4 colorless, and a black. So, a little bit pricey for a sorcery. Yeah. Destroy X target non-black creatures, draw X cards. Now, see, this is the only time I don't mind paying ridiculous amounts for targeted spot removal in black. Remember the last few years when, targeted removal in black, for some reason, Wizards decided to make it cost like 5 in standard? They're like, maybe a murder should just cost 5 at sorcery speed. That sounds good.
Alright. So, here's my question.
Okay.
This says non-black.
Yes.
Okay. And it says draw cards and destroy creatures.
It does.
And it's at least costing you 5. What is the benefit to playing this over Decree of Pain?
Targeting, I would imagine.
Yes. Okay, but
I mean, that's it, right? Like, that's the reason why you would play this over the other card, because obviously, like, Decree of Pain is better in almost every situation, but not necessarily.
If I had a better board state than everybody else, I would cast Decree of Pain before I cast this.
I think the point of running this is you probably don't have a better board state, right? That's probably why you have this in there.
I'm saying there is not a scenario where I would rather cast this than Decree of Pain.
Okay, but pro tip, we're talking about targeted removal on this cast.
I'm just saying this is not that great of a card.
Of course it's not that great of a card. It's fucking Commander Cast. Have you not listened to the show before? What are you doing, man? Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about the art.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Look at that. He's
Prodax, right?
He's like throwing a flask at some crazy, weird fucking shit from the upside down,
Is there a flask? Oh, the upside. It does kind of look
It just kind of look like that, I'm kind of cool with that. Who's this guy? Thomas Gianni? I've never heard of this guy before, but I like the art. So, anyway.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, Adam, what's your next one?
My next one is Malicious Affliction.
I remember people shitting all over this when it came out.
What's that?
I remember people shitting all over this card when it came out. But I like it.
I mean, the non-black creature part is meh, but anyway, it's a black instant with Morbid, and it says, when you cast Malicious Affliction, if a creature died this turn, you may copy Malicious Affliction and may choose a new target for the copy. And it says destroy target non-black creature. So instant speed removal for black that potentially kills 2 creatures. In most cases, I think kills 2 creatures. Because you just do this after blocks, like after you chump block something and then blow up 2 of their guys.
Mm-hmm.
This card is good. The non-black part always throws me off. Like I know we've been out of, the old days where I had to play with Dark Banishing and thinking that was a good card, for a long time now. So the non-black thing always still gets me, but, this can be a very useful card.
But there's very little black removal that doesn't have some sort of,
They're usually conditional of some kind, yeah.
And then the ones that you do have, like Murder's the best one.
Yeah,
Murder,
yeah.
that'll kill it.
Why couldn't this be that?
It's probably, that's why it's got like the most fucking straightforward name, All these other ones have affliction or ashes. No. I'm gonna fucking murder that guy.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what you're talking about, right? I like Malicious Affliction. I think it's a great card.
Yeah.
There's guys dying all the time. I sacrifice my thing to do this. And, okay, perfect. Well, I'll just kill 2 more of your guys for you. I'll help you out that way.
Yeah. I do like that, that morbid mechanic. I wish that had found a little more play. Like, I like that it came back in that. This was actually in the same deck as Dregs of Sorrow, as a matter of fact. I think it got reprinted in Commander 2014. And that's a cool little thing because you're right. Like, that's a neat little condition that is easy to satisfy, but also has, like, just like you said, Mike, I mean, people are sacrificing stuff all the time for value. Like, this is a nice way to kind of screw them over. So.
Yep.
I like.
There was a time when I was building the Aiden Oakenshield deck, that I was talking with one of the guys that used to be on the cast with Andy, and we were looking at some of the cards and what should we replace or whatever, and he suggested Morkrot Banshee, which has Morbid, and if it comes into play and a creature's already died, the Banshee gives another creature -4/-4.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's really good. So I didn't mean to do this, but targeted removal. There you go. Mm-hmm. And it's a 2-for-1 because hopefully it's a 2-for-1. They've sacrificed a dude on your turn, or you've managed to get rid of one of their dudes somehow, and so you're getting 2 things for 1.
I mean, yeah. There's I think the probably the best morbid creature printed is that demon. It kills non-demon creatures whenever at the end of turn.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that one is my favorite morbid creature. But, there's also the one that makes the demons, if something else has died that turn, you tap like 2 creatures or something and make a demon.
Right. I don't know, man. The demon scares me.
I mean, doesn't that mean he's being a good demon? Like,
no.
It's true. Like, he's done his job.
Yeah.
It's because it's not a may. It's a you do this. Yeah. And so if you're the only one left with non-demon dudes, you're killing your own fucking guys.
Yep. I mean, it's a demon, man. Come on. It has to have some kind of downside. There's that weird fucking monkey's paw aspect to all this shit. Be careful what you non-demon kill, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. It's an awesome card, but I'm always a little leery. Like, what happens if I'm the only one stuck with shit that I gotta destroy?
Yeah, then you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. That's what happens. Mike, what's your next card?
I don't know. My computer just blew up.
Sweet.
Whoa. I can tell you what you had marked down.
Perfect.
Ebony Charm.
Ebony Charm. So.
Now, do you remember all the modes?
No, but the only mode I really want to talk about is the second mode, I think, which is remove 3 cards in a graveyard from the game. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think for bonus points, the other modes are target opponent loses a life and you gain a life.
Nice.
And some other mode would be one of your creatures gets fear.
That is correct.
Nice.
I just won Magic. See you guys later. The reason I like Ebony Charm and cards like Ebony Charm that specifically pull single cards out of graveyards is in our meta, there's a lot of graveyard recursion. And so if if you're dropping Eternal Witness and your big plan is that you're going to get your Gen Wave back, and I'm there to stop you for 1 black mana, that makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to shit on your parade like that. And the fact that I'm going to pull 3 different things out, it's just icing on the cake. I play Cremate just to pull 1 thing out. That's how much of a dick I am.
Well, I mean, that probably really depends on your meta. Like, if you have people abusing graveyards left, right, and center, then yeah, like, playing more Graveyard Hate is a smart strategy, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Ebony Charm is a good value if you got that. Like, particularly targeted ones, because a lot of time, like, I mean, I'm probably the biggest abuser of graveyards in my meta, so I'm not gonna wipe everybody's graveyard. I just need to take a couple of things out, you know? Me personally, I usually prefer to steal shit out of people's graveyards, because that's, I don't know, one of my biggest joys in life. But, yeah, sure, you know, exiling stuff isn't underrated.
The casting cost is so low, it's 1.
Yeah.
Right? And when you play Cremate, you're still getting the card replacement. Like, you're not really paying anything to stop somebody from doing something that they're really looking forward to doing. And having been on the receiving end of a Genesis Wave this turn, and then Eternal Witness and Genesis Waving again next turn, I can tell you that doesn't feel very good.
Yes. Yeah.
So if I can stop at least one of those Gen Waves, then I'm happy with that. So yeah, I do like to play some targeted graveyard removal if I'm not going to play mass graveyard removal.
It's fair enough. I think for me, I always struggle with the it's not the effect, it's the card slot that always bothers me. Like, I should probably just get over and play more Graveyard Hate. Like, the answer is almost always to play more Graveyard Hate, because you're right. Like, in the case where you don't play it, then you're really wishing you had it, you know? So.
Now, there's, if you're a good graveyard player, you're gonna be playing stuff that gives you, as a player, hexproof. Because the mass Graveyard Hate targets the player, not the graveyard.
Good point. Hey, it gives me something to do with my foil Witchbane orbs, or whatever the fuck those things are. So.
Well, I went out and bought all the Witchbane orbs in my area because I was worried that I didn't have enough.
Wow. Okay. That is a little...
never been a worry of mine.
Yes, that is a level of dedication to my graveyard I've never had. So,
but I like playing out of the graveyard. So,
yeah, that's a good idea. You know?
And I noticed that, like, stuff like Tormod's Crypt, Bojuka Bog, all those ones that are really going to hose me, they target me. So I'll run Witchbane orbs or stuff like that. I even run the one transmute Dimir Houseguard, because he transmutes for a 4-drop, which is what Witchbane Orb is.
Wow. I love the transmute cards. I love me some Dimir Houseguard. I never thought about transmuting it for Witchbane Orb before. But that's actually kind of a...
casting cost? I thought it was 5.
Witchbane Orb? No, that's a 4.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure anyway. I mean, how much would you pay for Hexproof?
Of the Orbs of Warding or whatever that one is.
Yeah, that was a 5.
Yeah, that's also kind of a shitty card, but...
yeah.
Anyway, what are we back around? Are we back around to my pick now?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
So speaking of shitty cards, Gaze of Justice is my pick. It's one white, rather, sorcery. As an additional cost to cast Gaze of Justice, tap 3 untap white creatures you control, exile target creature, and has flashback for 5 and a white. Yeah, I play this. What's the investment here? You have to have, to play this and get a 2-for-1, you have to have at least 6 creatures out and 7 mana? Am I doing the math right? This is good, right? This is totally fine. This is a good investment. So.
I was gonna say that, like I was kind of on board with this until I read the flashback cost, and I was like, "Oh my god, is anyone ever casting that?"
Yeah, I mean, I've put this in decks, and I've taken it swiftly out of decks, and I've put it in decks again, and I'm like, man, if I'm playing some white weenie decks, I'm like, oh, maybe, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't ever really feel good about it, but I include it because I know maybe somebody's really a big hang around for Gaze of Justice. There are so many other better cards as I'm looking down the list here, like Slaughter, Silence the Believers, Sever the Bloodline. Like, there's so many better ones, but whatever. Adam, what's your next one?
So my next one is Ultimatum. And I will say that part of the reason why I like this is one of the very few times that I've been able to get my wife to play Magic. Dungeons deck that I built that I had Violent Ultimatum in. And she was like, the effect of that card is just kind of like having a temper tantrum. This should just be called Violent Tantrum. And so I actually printed out a little sticker and I covered the word ultimatum with tantrum.
Nice.
She's not wrong.
So anyway, Violent Ultimatum is, oh god, black, black, red, 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 green, green for a sorcery that says destroy 3 permanents. Target 3 permanents. Yeah. You know what it says. Destroy up to 3 target permanents or something like that. I don't have it up right.
No, that's exactly what it says. Yeah, you're fine. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's nice in that I think that I originally put it in there thinking, okay, it does take care of creatures, good. Creature removal, always important. But it also takes care of planeswalkers and artifacts, which black doesn't usually do very well. It's just kind of like a multi-purpose card, and because of it's really a 3-for-1. The casting cost is a bit much, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I've never played this. I've had this in my hand once or twice, but I've never actually. It's because it's so color intensive that I've just never had the mana up for it. I always wanted to play it though, because I look at it all the time in a Jund deck, and I'm like, man, I want to destroy 3 permanents at once.
It's in my Aiden Oakenshield deck. I love it.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's just one of those things I don't play enough. I also don't play Jundo that much anymore.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So
well, I love this because it takes out 3 things, and so it's a total of 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're paying what? 2 1/3 mana for each thing.
Which really is not a bad conversion rate.
Not unreasonable at all. Now, it's got some shitty colors in it, but whatever. Fuck, you'll get there.
Nah, Jund is fine.
Yeah, and you're going to be able to generate that mana probably by turn 7 if you have this in your hand. And by turn 7, you're probably going to want to destroy at least 3 things on the board, so,
yeah.
I used it a couple months ago. I was playing against a girl, and she had this Dinosaurs deck, and there was a couple Crowns of Doom on the table that were all sitting on me. And I, instead of blowing up the Crowns of Doom, I blew up her 3 biggest dinosaurs. Which was to clear the blockers out of the way, and even if there was a swing back, I'd gotten rid of 3 of the big things. So, the Crowns of Doom weren't going to screw me. I could have spent that mana and given her all the Crowns of Doom, but she would have blocked. So having Violent Ultimatum in my hand was fucking awesome. Like, it's just get the shitty things out of the road and roll over them.
Yeah, that's a good plan in general. So, Mike, what's your next card?
My next card's way down the list. Dust to Dust, which is Ashes to Ashes for artifacts.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it does enchantments too. Let me check here. Dust to Dust.
Artifacts.
Okay, just artifacts.
Yeah, which is why it's played much less frequently than Ashes to Ashes. But hey. Yeah.
Well, you also don't have restrictions. They are just artifacts, and you don't lose life.
That is true. Yep. So there's that upside.
So it costs 3, and you're exiling.
Yeah.
So to me, when I'm looking at removal, I always prioritize exile removal over destroy removal.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Instant exile removal is to me tier 1. I don't care if it's just 1 thing or 2 things or whatever. But here we're talking sorcery, so it's a little bit less than the instant, but you're getting 2, so you're 2 for 1ing for 3, which is a really good cost. And there's always going to be 2 artifacts on the table. Like, it's just going to happen. So maybe you're taking out something that's a pain in the ass, and you have to hit a soul ring as well. Whatever, you're going to get it done.
Right.
And it's Drew Tucker. Back to boy Drew. So for me, Dust to Dust is a great card.
Yeah, I didn't mean to shit on it before. It seems to me like if I was playing white, I always forget this card even exists. You know?
I do too, because I end up putting in the other one that I think Mike will talk about a little bit later. But yeah, I still think it's good.
Yeah, it's definitely playable.
I think part of the reason that we forget that it's a card, it was only printed twice. It was printed in the dark, and it was printed in 5th edition, and the 5th edition has this pretty much same shitty art as the 5th edition Ashes to Ashes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the same weird dude.
It's at least related, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5th edition not hitting it out of the park with the art. Yep.
So yeah, we've only ever seen it twice. So it's easy to get lost in the clutter of cards, but it does a good job. Now, the fact that it doesn't hit enchantments, that lowers it a bit on the scale because you lose a bit of the versatility. But again, like I said, there's probably always 2 artifacts for you to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'll often fall into the category of what you were saying, yeah, where you're like, okay, yeah, you have a dark steel whatever, so I'm going to get rid of that, and nothing else that's a great target, so I'll get rid of a signet or something. But you'll still have the 2 targets available, so you can deal with a problem and then something else, or you can deal with 2 real problems.
Yeah. Well, that brings us around to Adam with your next pick, sir.
All right, so my next pick is... I mean, how can I not pick this?
I kind of thought you'd like this one.
I don't understand how we think of this as targeted removal. Isn't this just a board wipe? So capsize.
Yes, if you have infinity mana, yes it is. So
what do you mean if? Capsize is 1 blue for an instant with buyback 3. And it says return target permanent to its owner's hand. So obviously an infamous outlet for infinite mana. You know, this is kind of one of the great things that you can do with infinite mana in blue. But decent nonetheless. I mean, I've played this and not even done the buyback. I've played this when I just happen to have 7 mana available, you know, and do the buyback or, you know, so, you know, I've played it in a lot of different scenarios, but it is often meant to be a game ender.
Yes. Adam, before we move on, it would be remiss of me if I didn't get your opinion of the Amonkhet Invocations artwork.
I like the artwork a lot. I can't see it because it's about the size of a stamp on that piece of shit card frame.
Yeah.
Did that help at all?
Yeah. I mean, it was a very, you know, it was a very measured response. I'm glad that, you know, you had no strong feelings about the formatting and the template there.
No. I actually like the art a lot because it shows a ship capsizing, and I think it shows it more clearly than the Tempest one does. I mean, like, yeah, I guess that's kind of like, I don't know. It almost looks like the other one just has smoke coming out of the back of the ship, but that could be its engine. I don't know how that thing works.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it's just burning a lot of oil. Like we don't know.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I like the art for it a lot. That's how I feel about all the invocations. I liked the art a lot.
Yeah, and the rest of it's not so much.
The frame was the real problem.
I mean, hey, look, man.
Frame and the fonts.
Yeah, it's capsizing in a fucking river of blood, so it doesn't really get much more metal than that, so I'm really down with it. Yeah, the other part is like the weird fake hieroglyphs they put. It looks like there's an M and an I right before capsize, so I'm like, capsize? What the fuck? What kind of word is that? I don't know. It's shitty. Don't do that again, Wizards. So, let's see. My next one is part of the cycle that so dearly needs to be reprinted from Commander 2015.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, and so this is the less extremely expensive one. Mystic Confluence. Mystic Confluence is 3 colorless and 2 blue. It's a modal spell. It's an instant. You choose 3, and you may choose the same mode more than once, which is why it fits in this category. So you can counter target spell unless its controller pays 3, or you can draw a card, or the thing that we care about, you can return target creature to its owner's hand. So you can get a triple bounce out of it for 5. Yep. Not bad.
Very good.
Yeah, I mean, in any deck that I'm running evacuation in, which is the same cost, where I could bounce every creature back. Like there are times when I don't want to bounce my own stuff back, so I will probably play a Mystic Confluence. And sometimes you only want to bounce 1 or 2 and then draw a card. You know.
Yeah, I mean, this is the poor man's Cryptic Command, right?
Yes, but even at $10, I don't know how poor man we're getting here. It's not like this alone can like stretch a budget for a deck. You know, like dropping almost $11 on one card, especially like a utility removal card like this. I don't know. I just really want to see this get reprinted. So
these are $11 now.
Yeah, man. Don't ask about Fiery.
Is 30, so it's,
yeah, but I mean, Fiery Confluence is closing in on 30. Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
Fiery Confluence is $30.
What?
Yeah, it's stupid expensive, man. So
yeah. My understanding is Fiery Confluence is $30 because it sees vintage play.
I mean, maybe. Yeah. It's really amazing card, but, yeah, I don't know. And Mystic Confluence, I really like too for its utility. I do not want to pay $11 for it though. So,
yeah.
There's
but Mystic Confluence is a great card. It's usually, you know, it kind of falls into like a Curse of the Swine territory for me, where it's not an auto include in blue decks for me, but it's really up there. Like it's almost always on the short list.
Yeah. Very, very good.
Yeah.
Mike, what's your next card?
Let's take a look here. I have Drugar Hedgemage.
Yeah.
Is that how you say that word?
Who the fuck knows? It's fantasy bullshit.
Drugar? Yeah, it's a fantasy nonsense. Yeah. Go for it.
Okay, so first off, I like this card because of the picture. This could be a fucking vanilla tutu, and I would probably still run it because it just looks so badass. He just looks like he's pissed off at him.
He's the orneriest dwarf I've ever seen. Yeah, he's like got hair loss going on.
Well, doesn't he? Come on, man. Doesn't he kind of look like that little dude from Labyrinth, but like 30 years in the future and really pissed off at life? Like,
oh God.
I hope I look like this when I get old. I'm like a 6'3" fat dude, and I want to look like him.
I mean,
you know the what is it, Augra or whatever it is from Dark Crystal? This is her husband.
Yeah, basically.
That's great.
That's probably why he's so angry.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, wouldn't you be? Shit. Yeah, so what does this dude do?
Okay, so when he enters the battlefield, if you control 2 or more mountains, you may destroy target artifact. And when he enters the battlefield, if you control 2 or more planes, you may destroy target enchantment. So, if you're playing a Boros deck, odds are you're going to hit at least one of these conditions just from casting the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're a really shitty player and you go turn 1 Soul Ring, turn 2 this guy.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. Just wait another fucking turn. Yeah, so, but odds are you're going to have this stuff, and so you're getting 2 things for 3, which is great. And he's a blocker, too, so you're actually kind of getting 3 things off of 3 mana.
Yeah.
That's not something that you're going to see very often.
I can say the best use I've seen this put to recently was in a Depala deck.
Yeah, that's, I think, where I had mine, because he drives a fucking car pretty good, too.
Yeah, man. I mean,
and
he pulls
a
a
dwarf.
weight. Yeah, so, he's a dwarf shaman, which is also just kind of like that's just a dope combination right there. It's something you don't see very often. I'm like, alright, cool. So, yeah, I'm down with some Duergar Hedge Mage.
I wish that they had done, more like this. There's a green one. Like, it's a green-black one. I don't even know what it does, but there's a green-black one and there's this one, but I don't think there's any other color combinations that they did like this, so there wasn't really a cycle as far as I know.
I mean, there's that red-black one that kills something, right? I can't remember.
Fulminator Mage?
No. There's I'm totally fucking this up, but there's a red-black one. I think it's a goblin, out of Eventide, I think, that, comes in and kills something. I can't remember the fuck it is. I've been screwed over by that dude once or twice. I had a buddy of mine used to run it in a Rakdos deck.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's totally escaping me now. This is making for awesome radio. But I do love, like, I like that, if you control something else, that kind of like 2 conditional thing that the Eventide had going on. It was super flavorful. I mean, we've talked about our love for the Lorwyn block anyway. Like, it's just an amazing block. I want to see more stuff like this come back. So.
Yeah, agreed. I like this guy a lot. The only problem I have is there's, up in the upper right-hand corner, there's these 2 symbols. And it's like split into like red and white, and I don't know. I can't see a use case.
Well, so I'll tell you where you can use
fucking hater.
Hold on. He's not a hater. He just needs to be educated.
About Boros being good, please.
Okay. So first thing you do is you spend $150 to buy a fucking box of Dominaria.
Yeah, okay.
Jump through all the hoops to get that promo,
Yeah.
and then you can put that in that deck.
Yeah.
So where it doesn't really synergize and your commander costs 6?
No, your commander costs $150. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get it. That's the conditional clause on Dominaria. Like, if you get the card.
If you roll more luck than the other 40 people that have spent $150 on this guy, you get a cool commander. Commander.
I'm glad we brought the salt back around. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that.
So my next card has seen a price spike, but a price spike in the foil is my understanding. The foils for this card are now $100.
What? No, oh, fuck this. Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. For 10 mana, you get a 10/10, and it says when you cast Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, exile 2 target permanents. It is indestructible, and when it attacks, defending player exiles the top 20 cards of his or her library. And it actually, when you play this card, puts a vial onto the battlefield for you to collect everyone's tears.
For some reason, I am like fascinated with the last sentence on this card, and I'm fascinated with exiling 20 cards at once. Like, I just want to do multiple attack steps. Like, that makes me so happy, even though you would have to get through so many to do, like, it's not a viable win strategy, I don't think. But
I have won with it.
Really?
I have milled people out with it, yeah.
That's pretty impressive. I like that. Why don't we see more exile mill? Like, that would actually be a kind of dope win con.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it. I also like just exiling permanents. So there was one I had on here, Bane of Balagad, which I actually like better.
I love that card.
Yeah, whenever that one attacks, you exile 2 target permanents. Yeah, that one's really, really cool. And it, nice and colorless, so it goes in anything.
Yep.
I like that one better than Ulamog here.
Yeah.
Do you? Yeah, I mean, I like Ulamog a lot, but I do tend to play kind of controlling strategies. So like getting to a really late game finisher at 10 mana is not the end of the world for me.
Mm.
Oh yeah, as a finisher, he's good. My issue is that when they spoiled it, I just remember being, okay, that's cool. Like it wasn't anything super spectacular. It's in the mythic slot. It does mythic things. It's expensive.
Oh yeah. I mean, I get that, but
it checks all the boxes and we move on. Like it didn't really razzle my dazzle.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would take original Ulamog over this guy, but I still like it. So
no, I play this guy over original Ulamog because of the exile over the destroy.
It's got Annihilator, man.
It does, but rarely do they stick around for that.
Yes. I mean, that's kind of the point. I mean, you play it when you're ready to go. Like, like that's the point of the finisher. But I don't know, man. There's something about making people sack it. I think it's because, like, if you drink in some tears by exiling the top 20 cards of your library, like, you really drink in the tears when you make people hit Annihilator triggers. So, I really like that part. That's just me. Anyway, moving on to a slightly less salty card, but a card that I'm always salty about because this card is also A, a really awesome card that I think is underplayed, and B, the reason I stopped buying cards until they rotated out of standard, because I think I probably paid at least $15 for this card. Maybe 20 at the time, I can't remember. It was in that price range. And now Angel of Serenity is $1. So, don't come to me for your price advice here, people. Angel of Serenity is 4 colorless and 3 white. It's a creature angel, shocker. It's a flying 5/6. When Angel of Serenity enters the battlefield, you may exile up to 3 other target creatures from the battlefield and or creature cards from graveyards. And when Angel of Serenity leaves the battlefield, return the exiled cards to their owner's hands. So, really dope. It's a cool, versatile effect. Like, I'll often use this on my own stuff rather than everybody else's because it's a weird, like, get it back to hand from your grave. Like, it's a strange, like, regenerator effect. But, I think it is not criminally underplayed, but I think it definitely is underplayed in Commander. It's very versatile. So.
Yeah, I mean, I like this card a lot. I don't find myself playing it a ton, but I like that you can do stuff with your graveyard, their graveyard. If they're a reanimator, you can kind of put them off of some stuff in their graveyard so that it's not getting recurred every turn. If you are like, okay, I'll exile one of your things and two of my things in my graveyard, so just in case you get rid of the angel, I'm still going to have, maybe parity or something like that. Yeah, it's just a really, really interesting card. But man, white, 4.
Yeah, you pay the cost, man. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Really hard to do anything other than like a dedicated white blink deck, I suppose. But
yeah.
Do you guys ever throw commanders under there?
That's interesting.
I have not.
I can't remember if I have or not. I think most of the time I usually throw finishers under there. It's not.
Wait, does this work? Hold on. Does this work the way I think it does with commanders? Is this that weird niche case?
Yep.
Damn it! I hate that case. I've heard about it and I don't actually know how it works all that well yet.
Okay, so the way that I've read it, if you, so let's say we're all playing and I put an Angel Serenity out and I put all of our commanders under it. You can choose to use or to put your commander in the command zone. Then, if the angel leaves at any point, it sets up that return trigger.
Yeah.
So it pulls it back from
the command zone.
From the command zone and puts it into your hand. So
yeah.
you can, at that point, you can either choose to, before that point happens, you can choose to cast your commander, paying your commander tax and whatever, or you can just sit and wait and then smoke the angel and get it back to your hand. But, I was just curious if you guys have ever
pretty cool.
Commanders underneath.
Yeah, there's a few cards that do that, and I have not experimented with that yet. Primarily because I don't really feel like explaining it and then trying to convince my play group that I'm right. Because I've totally done that before. Where
I have to say that has to go down as one of the most condescending things I think I've ever heard in the cast, but I still like it.
I'm really not trying to be like, but I've totally gotten into situations like that before where I'm like, hey, this is how this works. No, it's not. That makes no sense. I'm not going to spend the next half hour looking for the evidence, but it is how it works.
Yes. I mean, you don't have to go full on Perry Mason, present your case in court. Yeah, right. I get it. Yeah.
I was playing last week and I played Thalia's Lancers, which goes and searches up a legendary card. I play it and I went and grabbed Planeswalker and my friend was playing and he looks at me like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, getting Planeswalkers? And he that's not how that works. I'm like, yep, it is.
You're like, contraire,
did that rule change already go into effect? I thought that wasn't until Dominaria was released.
No, if you look at the Planeswalkers that were released for Ixalan, they've got legendary subtypes.
Oh, okay, so they already made that change with Ixalan. Okay.
Yeah, no, ever since Jace was sad on the beach, that has been all Planeswalkers.
Okay, that's what it was, yeah.
So he's like, what? And then he looks around and he finds someone else and he asks someone else and the other guy's like, yeah, it's fine. And I'm like, you're a fucking dick. Just believe me.
I mean, hey, look, as a person who used to regularly sail past, Guardian Beast for 1 black past people back in the day, I'm pro, double checking your sources.
Yeah, fair enough.
I like to trust but verify. It happens. Now, Adam, what's your next card?
So my next card is, where am I? Clan Defiance. So we're going into the damage-based removal.
Which is not very good, people. But
it's not usually really good, but I like this card. I don't know why I like this card. But I do. And Clan Defiance is a green, a red, and X for a sorcery that says choose 1 or more. And so here are the 3 modes. Clan Defiance deals X damage to target creature with flying. Clan Defiance deals X damage to target creature without flying, and Clan Defiance deals X damage to target player. So potentially, for whatever you put into X, you can hit a flyer, a non-flyer, and the player. And all different players, So I really like the versatility of this. I don't actually think that it's good, but every time I build a Gruul deck, I kind of want to put it in there. Because you could blow up, 2 creatures and then just kind of hit somebody else for extra damage for no reason.
Yeah, but it's shitty.
But why?
It just seems like, to me, you're not getting a lot of value out of it.
Killing 2 things and maybe a player? That's pretty decent.
Yeah, but if you're killing a player, okay. So here's where, to me, it was always something weird about it. Your ground-based creatures are always going to have a fatter ass than your flying creatures, right? And your player is going to have the fattest of the asses at probably 40 life.
Yeah.
So it just seems like to get the most value, you want to deal a fair bit to everybody. And when I look at it, I just don't feel like the player portion of that card is getting enough damage for what you're putting into it. Now, I understand where you're coming from in that's just a bonus. Like you're killing 2 creatures and then the dude gets hit as well. But I don't know. It just seems like an awfully big mana expense.
I mean, I think late in the game, this potentially takes a player out. You know, you got somebody down to 7 life, and you're on turn 9. You kill that player, and then you take out 2 creatures. Seems okay.
I'm with Adam on this one. I've played Clan Defiance before in a Gruul deck, but I mean, a Gruul deck, you're probably gonna have some mana lying around because you're probably ramping into Oblivion anyway because you got green in your deck. Late game, I'm probably looking to close it out. I'm pro fireball effects anyway, and this is just a nice one because you don't have to pay any extra mana to get the extra modes. So, that's just pro.
Right, not Comet Storm, not fireball. You just get the extra.
Exactly. So that's a pro to me. I don't know. It's also one of the few cards I can remember that doesn't suck out of Gate Crash. So I don't know. Pro Clan Defiance.
I will concede that I'm wrong on this one.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a right and wrong, but because this isn't like a go-to, hard, fast removal, but.
Yeah, I've played this card a grand total of twice, so. Yeah. I'm not saying it's an amazing card, I do not put this often. If you held a gun to my head, I could not find my copy of it. Don't ask me why it's a rare, either.
Mine's under the CLs in my bulk box.
Yeah, that sounds like an appropriate place to put it.
Whenever I look at a Gruul deck, and I come across the Gate Crash binder, I look at this card, and then I look at Signal to Clans, which is from the same set, it's in the same colors, and I always, for some weird reason, I make the decision between this card and Signal to Clans. They don't do the same things at all. They're not even...
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I never play Signal to Clans.
Yeah, but I just always choose Signal to Clans over Clan Defiance.
It's funny. I was just building a deck this week. I was retuning a Tana the Bloodsower deck, and I put Signal to Clans in it because I'm like, oh sweet, I want to search shit up in Gruul. You never get that. So,
yeah, I love it.
It's weird and random, but I'm like, well, fuck, it's Gruul. So
yeah. Go through. You pick out the 3 cards that do the exact same thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then it's not as random, and then so all you're really doing is getting a card with a different name than the other 2 cards.
I mean, yeah, at a certain point, kind of everything does the same thing in Gruul. That's kind of how I like it. It's nice and straightforward. So
yeah.
Mike, what's your next card, man?
I don't know. Let me check here.
Okay, we're back down to artifact and enchantment removal here.
Return to Dust.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
Return to Dust is a lot like Dust to Dust, but it's got a bit more to it. So, costs 1 more, so it's 2 white and 2. It exiles, which is great, and it also hits enchantments, which is also great. And then if you're going to cast this on your turn, you get to 2 for 1. You get to do 2 targets. So either 2 artifacts, 2 enchantments, or 1 of each, whatever. I like this one.
This card is actually pretty much an auto include for me.
Yeah.
If I'm playing white in if I'm playing a 3-color deck with white in it, maybe not. But if I'm playing anything where white is pretty dominant, yeah, Return to Dust is going in.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great card. My only concern, the casting cost, is 1 more than I would like it to be.
That is... yeah, it's true. It has that downside, but I think we kind of just discovered the reason why no one plays Dust to Dust. So...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely that card, yeah.
Yeah. Very, very good. Does anyone find that if you cast it during your main phase, how often do you guys, wait to cast it during your main phase or just take something out at instant speed?
9 times out of 10, this is getting cast in my main phase.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's same.
I can't overcome the value. Like, even if I need to kill something at instant speed, I'll still try to wait till my main phase, because I'm like, I can get 2.
Well, so maybe this is why it's 1 extra, to give you that versatility, because if I need to, I'll use this on your turn to get rid of the thing that you're going to win with. There's no point in me, well, I'll just wait till my turn and then I'll have lost the game. I'll just
destroy a Cathar's Crusade with triggers on the stack.
Bingo. And speaking of that, this is the same sword from Croson Grip.
Is it?
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that. That's kind of cool.
I'm almost 100% positive.
That's pretty dope. Yeah. All right. What's my next card here? Setessan Tactics. As a card I've actually been having a lot of fun with lately. So, Setessan Tactics is 1 colorless and a green. It's instant. It's one of those weird Strive cards out of Journey to Nyx. I'm not a huge fan of Strive most of the time, because I think that extra cost, Strive, the mechanic, if anyone doesn't remember, Journey to Nyx, is you can pick more than one target, but you have to pay a certain amount of mana or a certain amount of something to pay more, to extend the number of targets. This one's real simple. Its Strive is just Setessan Tactics costs 1 more green mana to cast for each target beyond the first. And the effect is pretty simple too. Until end of turn, any number of target creatures get +1/+1 and gain tap. This creature fights another target creature. So, it's a very green effect, which I like, so it's pretty on theme in a lot of decks, and I'm such an inveterate Timmy, like I always have big dumb fucking creatures. This seems like it would be super awesome in a dinosaur deck. So,
my favorite part of that entire explanation was you saying this is one of your like favorite cards out of Journey into Nyx, and I was like, yeah. There's not much of a bar there.
Yeah. That's an ankle high bar if I ever heard one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, slim pickings.
I've never played with this card, but it has always looked interesting. Well, I mean, I played with it in limited, like in sealed or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
But I've never played with it in EDH. But yeah, I mean, it seems interesting. I like fight. I like fight a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's a great way for green to have removal. This seems kind of cool with something like a Rude Awakening or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a interesting card.
Yeah.
I would like to just say that Journey into Nyx had other good cards.
So we have a Journey into Nyx Defender. Okay. Can you name another one?
There is a Snake token. There is a 4/4 Sphinx token.
Nice.
Those are all pretty good.
All of those are true statements.
They are.
True facts.
There's like Star Zombie token. You don't see those very often.
That's true. That's true.
So, if anything, Journey into Nyx brought us some tokens that are useful.
You know, my most played card out of Journey into Nyx is Nyx Fleece Ram.
Hey, I like that card, man. Come on.
I like it too.
Yeah.
I was thinking of putting that in the deck I built last night, but then I didn't. But like, it was on my list to do. And the only reason I didn't put it in is because I realized I didn't need, like, I wanted it in there just to gain a little bit of life so that I can win with like 1 life. And then at the end of it, I realized, I can do this in a different way. So I just didn't put it in. But it was on the list.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like a Johnny Mentor of Heroes really isn't cracking my top 10 for cards.
I mean, Keranos is really good.
Keranos is good. Athreos, I talk shit. I do have an Athreos deck, so yeah. Some of the gods are alright. A lot of the other ones are.
But yeah, the Setessan Tactics is definitely interesting. I would like to see it in token decks and see whether it can perform. Or Dino deck, yeah, I don't know, man.
I would actually.
That might be really good.
If
let's say you put it into a token deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
How would you best use this? Because you put it in the token deck, you're going to have to pay 1 for each token. So now you're going to need a fair bit of mana to give this ability to your tokens. How big are your tokens going to be? And at the end of all that, could you have used that mana any more efficiently?
You know how you do it? You play Vigor first.
Actually, that's a good segue, because I was going to say the thing that I would recommend doing this in is a +1/+1 counters matters deck. That I think is the best way to put. I mean, the best thing that I found to do is Citizen Tactics. So, your mileage will vary, folks, but I think you should try it out, particularly in green, because green doesn't get a whole lot of target removal. Like that. Sometimes if it's hard to find like just that fight mechanic, like I'm the guy who always includes like arena in a big dumb derpy deck because I still love that card. But sometimes it's hard for just like. Was that Prey Upon? I think is the instant speed fight mechanic card from green. Sometimes it's hard for me to include this, and this is the same cost as Prey Upon. So I would choose this above that card, and I've played that card without blinking an eye in green decks before. So
I like that Vigor idea. I think that's actually really cool. I think you might be onto something here.
Yeah, I mean, it might make it pretty decent to blow up all their stuffs. I like blowing up all their stuffs.
It's good stuff.
I don't think you can go that far. I mean, so you drop Vigor on one turn, right?
Yeah. And then you do this, blow up some of their creatures, and your stuff all gets giant.
Yeah, and then if you leave, one or two up that you can use then to untap all your dudes, there's like mobilize and stuff like that, which will untap all your guys. And then you can just run over them with all the fatties you just made from eating their guys.
Yep.
That sounds like a good way. Yeah, that sounds like a good way to win. Woohoo. Yeah. Thumbs up, Citizen Tactics. Yes. Let's see. Adam, what's your next card, bud?
All right, so my next card kind of reminds me of old school Magic. And it reminds me of old school Magic in that I remember Shatter being a playable card, where it's just red and a colorless for destroy target artifact. I can't find a green and a colorless destroy target enchantment, but there's got to be something, right?
Oh, there is. There is. Give me 1 second. You talk. I'll find it because I run it.
Yeah. So I feel like this was like one of the first times, in Plane Shift, that this got like melded together, and they were like,
I found it for you.
What is it?
Destructive Revelry.
Oh yeah, the Conspire one. Yeah. Hey, that's on that.
No. Destructive Revelry is from what's the one that came before Journey into Nyx?
Oh, Pharaohs?
Yeah. Destroy target artifact, and this deals 2 damage to that permanent's controller.
It's artifact or enchantment.
This just does artifact or enchantment. You just look at one that does straight enchantment?
Yeah. I was seeing if there was like 2 things that combine together. But anyway, the Hull Breach does both.
Yes.
Or just one if you only have one target available. It's a red and a green for a sorcery that says choose one. Destroy target enchantment, destroy target artifact, or destroy target enchantment and target artifact. So it's a naturalized plus.
Yep.
It does both of the things at the same time, and that's amazing. So yeah, I like it. It's real good. You should play this or the card that we're going to talk about at the very end.
Yes. Yeah, both of those cards immediately go into any Gruul deck I build. So
Yes, I would agree. Hull Breach, I've been kind of a latecomer to it, but like as I've played more, it only costing 2 mana is so good that it's worth putting in there.
Yeah, I would totally agree. Very, very cost efficient for what you get.
Yeah.
Let's see, what's my next card? Oh wait, Mike, did I skip over you?
I don't know.
Oh, well, hey, let's go with your next one anyway.
My next one's Bitter Ordeal.
Yeah. Damn it, that was the card. Thank you for putting it on there. I forgot in that other category, I forgot to put Bitter Ordeal on there.
Bitter Ordeal is 1 black, 2 other. It's from Future Sight. It says, search target player's library for a card and remove that card from the game. Then that player shuffles his or her library. And it has Gravestorm. It's the only card in Magic that has Gravestorm.
Yeah.
When you cast the spell, copy it for each permanent put into a graveyard this turn. You may choose new targets for the copies. So,
you know why it's the only one with Gravestorm?
Because Gravestorm is fucking the best mechanic that Magic has ever made.
It's fucking dope.
If by which you mean one of the more broken, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yep.
That card, that mechanic could get out of hand. Like, real out of hand.
Oh, it does. It gets super out of hand.
Which always makes me wonder why I don't see more of this card. I mean, this card's like, I don't know, what is it, like an $8 card right now? And like, I always think it should be twice that. Because, holy shit, man. Like, you get a big enough crazy board state, you're just eliminating like half of somebody's library. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I've used this to pull all the lands out of a guy's deck.
Oh, that's very good. Yeah.
But no, I love this thing. I love building around it. If I'm putting together like a Grave Crawler combo where I'm going to try to win with Blood Artist, I put this in it too, because if the Blood Artist fails for whatever reason,
Right.
this is a backup. So sure, you'd kill my Blood Artist after the first activation of my Grave Crawler combo. I'll just keep doing it 100 times and take out your whole deck. So, I don't know. I just love it. I just wish there was more of these. I understand that there's not. And, you know, Adam, you're right. This is way powerful, and it's probably why there isn't more.
Yeah.
But it's so cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also a really good thing for black, because like mono black, it has that library destruction element to it, which is really the way it fights against artifacts and enchantments, because there are no other really effective ways for black to do that. So like taking them out before they're cast is really the way that black does it, you know? So I don't know. Like I never see enough Bitter Ordeal like that between that and Sadistic Sacrament and Jester's Cap effects. Like,
Yeah.
More, please.
So good.
Yeah. Let's see. Is it back to me already? It is, I think. So, Wretched Confluence, speaking of mono black cards. And this cycle, I don't know why this card isn't more, because I love this fucking card. And this one's 90 cents.
This one's the instant, yeah.
Yeah, this is the instant, and it's 90 cents. And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know. I own several copies of this card, because I keep wanting it in this slot. It's 3 colorless and 2 black, instant. It's a modal card, just like all the Confluence cards. Choose 3. You may choose the same mode more than once. Target player draws a card and loses 1 life. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn, or return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. There's plenty of stuff in Magic that has 2 toughness, or 4 toughness, or some multiple of that. Or, like, you know, if you don't have anything at the moment that you want to kill, like, draw 3 cards and lose 3 life at instant speed. That's okay. Yeah. Like an Ambition's cost at instant speed for 1 more mana is not the worst thing you could put in your deck.
No, it's not. Ambition's Cost is a great card. I love those cards, and this is just, hey, it's extra. It's bonus.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, and it is all of 90 cents. So, because this is the one that got the reprint. So.
Well, that's the reason I don't run it. It's too expensive.
Yeah, obviously. So.
I mean, like, if I were rich or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we're not rolling in like Bentleys up to the LGS, man. I mean, come on. We can only afford so much money. So
I don't play this card.
You're gonna shit on the card I like now.
No, I actually don't think that it's a bad card. I don't play it for whatever reason. Whenever I'm looking for card, I am one of the few people, and this is a me thing, because I know I'm wrong about it. That the like draw card pay life thing, like there are very few of those I'm willing to actually play.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Like, I won't play Read the Bones or...
None of the Ladyfinger Suites doing it for you?
No.
What do you use then to draw in black?
Yeah, I know. I'll play Necropotence.
Okay. Alright. I mean...
Yeah, it's a me thing. I know. Like, that's not I have no good reason. I just don't.
Okay. Hey, yeah.
Same thing with this card. I just don't. I don't know.
It happens. Alright. So what's your next card, Adam? How about for cards you do play?
And my card, well, this one is actually an auto include, and I know that there was a little bit of controversy about putting this on the list.
I am still. I don't know if it fits the theme. I'm gonna be that guy, but go ahead.
All right, so so Vandal Blast is 1 red for a sorcery. Destroy target artifact you don't control. So targets Overload 4 and a red. You change target to each, which doesn't technically target anymore, which actually makes it better because hexproof stuff.
Yeah, 100%. It also like negates it from this category, but
I don't know what you're talking about. It destroys a target and then it destroys all the things, and it's the best. It's just master.
It's not a 2 for 1, Adam. Not a 2 for 1. I'm not saying this isn't the best artifact removal spell ever printed.
Artifacts out, then it's a 2 for 1.
But, okay, so let's just take it at its top line, so which is destroy target artifact, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pretend that's what we're talking about. Destroy target artifact for 1 red. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would totally pay that.
You're really not going to get. The only better you're going to get for that is destroy target artifact for 1 colorless, and that's not going to happen.
want to see that card.
Yeah, no, that's not. I have artifacts that I want to play. So,
Yeah.
no.
Well, destroy target artifact for 1 red. Vandal Blast on that alone is pretty okay.
Very true.
And the extra of blow everything up is gravy.
I think that's Mark's point of contention here. Is it's either a 1-for-1 or it's a board wipe.
Yeah, you skipped completely over the 2-for-1 right there. You went.
So here's what I want to get to next.
Okay.
Are you going to overload it for 2?
What do you mean? If there's 2 things?
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Now, Mark, are you?
Yes, I have and I will.
So if you're going to overload it for 2, then it is a 2-for-1. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to sit and wait until your friends have put down all their artifacts, then yeah, you're turning it into a mass removal thing, but you are losing so much of the value that you would get from blowing up some of their stuff, like 1 thing for each player. So they're not getting that incremental value every turn of having that artifact.
I mean, let's be honest. All that I'm really doing here is playing Mycosynth Lattice and then playing this.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, yes, if you're Adam, that's what happens. So, yes.
Because I don't want you to have lands or fun.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I can't say I don't do the same thing.
All right.
with Connor.
I concede. You're right. This is. I don't know how I was seeing it from the other side before, but no, it's not.
Shameful.
It's not a 2-for-1.
Shameful, people. Mike, what's your next card, man?
I don't think I have any more.
Oh, man, yeah, okay, you might be out, I guess. Yeah, jeez. All right, well, I guess it's then back to me, which totally is a card in the spirit of this category, Adam. Into the Core. So,
it is. I can't argue with your point. It is.
Yeah, so Into the Core is a criminally underplayed card. It's simply, it does exactly what this category wants to do at all times. It's 2 colorless and 2 red. Instant, exile 2 target artifacts. Yep.
Yeah, I never played this card, and I think I don't actually own one, which I should, because, I mean, realistically, this is not much worse than, I mean, if you're in red and don't have access to white, I mean, it's similar to Return to Dust. It's actually, well, no, Return to Dust hits enchantments, so.
Yeah,
it's not better. It's not better than, but, better than Dust to Dust.
Oh, yeah.
Instant speed.
Truth. Yep. You can still do horrible things to people with Mycosynth Lattice with this. So
yeah, you can.
I know.
Yeah,
I really like Into the Core. Like, Into the Core is something I occasionally overlook because I just forget about it. But Exile in red is a narrow enough effect that I find that I really want this. So
yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Probably only useful in mono red, like you said, but
Yeah.
happens. So what's your next one, Adam?
My next one is one that I count this.
I totally did. I forgot, and I do love this card, so yeah.
So it's a 2-for-1 on not land destruction, but close. And it's Plow Under. 3 green for a sorcery that says put 2 target lands on top of their owner's libraries. This is the best green time walk I've ever seen.
Yeah, this really is really good. Just to be a dick just to one person. And you're just like, nope.
Yeah, I mean, put like 2 bounce land, like 2 of the.
Yeah, it's really good.
Those are, oh god.
Now,
or like a Lake of the Dead for one of them. Put that because they just swamp. Yeah.
Do you actually play this card though?
I have played this card. Yeah.
I've looked at it a bunch of times. I have a friend who I've seen play it, and every time I look at it, I don't know. Like, this to me is the card that sort of says play mass removal over spot removal. Like, this is to me is the one card that flips the argument around.
This works well. Yeah, it works well if you have like kind of a green based. If you're trying to do like green based tempo.
Yeah.
Where you're able to recur Plow Under, and there's another one I don't remember what it's called that I think does this, but just for 1 land.
Okay.
You can kind of offset people enough. I mean, you also combine it with things like Thermokarst and Acidic Slime, so you can blow up lands also.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you can definitely do enough disruption with it.
Yeah.
Interesting, because I've always looked at it and I've thought there's got to be something broken that you can do with this. I just was never able to wrap my head around it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it works well in like if you built Azusa the right way.
Yep.
Where so you've got your, wasteland strip mine, that whole suite going on, but then you're also doing these kind of things, where you're just keeping people off land to the point where you're just tempoing them out of the game.
Yeah.
I think that it can work really well.
Yeah, I've used this particularly in like an Omnath deck where you have to be ahead on mana, which isn't hard in mono green. But I don't think I would play this outside of mono green because I think there are probably better ways to get tempo advantage in other color combinations. But I do really like Plow Under. It's not an auto include, but if there's a time when I definitely do, like I did love it in my Omnath deck because that one is just how big can I get Omnath, how quickly, and to smash people in the face.
Yeah.
So it definitely helped there. And I've also used it, I've also used it to be a dick to fuck up people's draws and just put lands on top of their library instead of useful cards. Like, I've definitely done that. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a dick. I like plowing.
You could make like mono green lantern control.
I mean, sure, yeah. There are, oh god, there's another card that does something similar that I've, like you swap out cards in hand with like cards in the library or something. I've used it to, I think it's an artifact I've used to swap people's, actual decent cards for like 4 lands or something.
Right.
Yeah, I like doing that too. I like fucking up people's draws. Like, that is a really powerful tempo move. I mean, it will make you, like, none of the friends, but it doesn't really matter,
right.
Cause that's I think it's an underused strategy to just mess up people's hands and mess up people's draws. Or just to put things on top of owners' libraries, like messing up the top of someone else's libraries. I like top deck manipulation when it's not necessarily mine. Like, I'm not a good enough control player to really, like, scroll rack away and like time out all this crap on my deck, but I like screwing up other people's draws. So
I like putting stuff on top of people's libraries. I think it's a great.
Oh yeah.
First off, it's huge tempo, and then if you're doing it well, you're putting their important stuff on top of their library right before they shuffle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they spoiled the Ixalan card, I think it's called Return to. Well, what's the O place? Or Kazaka, or I don't even know.
Or Ozka.
Or Ozka. Where if you've got the City's Blessing, you bounce a permanent to the top of their library for 1 blue and 1 other. And when they spoiled that was the card from that set. That one and the Brainstorm Merfolk. Those were the 2 cards that I was super excited about. Everything else in that set, I was like, okay, these are playable. But those 2, I went out, I bought 8 of the Merfolk.
Oh,
and
shit.
I bought 5 of the Bounce.
Nice.
So I take it you like that card. All right. Well, to round out this category, folks, I think I'm coming to what easily has to be my favorite 2-for-1, which is actually a 4-for-1.
It's a 4-for-1, Mark. It doesn't fit in the category.
Yeah, Mark.
Whatever, I made the fucking category. Deal with it, people. So, Decimate. And if you're playing it right, you have to play the Odyssey fucking weird red-green Star Wars version of Decimate.
I agree with that.
100%.
That should be the art that gets reprinted.
Yes.
I'm tired of this.
This conspiracy bullshit. I'm glad I got a reprint, but fuck that. Like, we need to play some crazy lasers.
No, I want laser beams in my Magic cards.
Damn straight, man. So 2 colorless, a red and a green. Destroy target artifact, target creature, target enchantment, and target land. Fuck, I just talk about a card I am always happy to see come up in my hand. I will never, ever be sorry to get this card on a draw. Ever.
So when I first started playing EDH, I looked at this and I was like, 4-for-1? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I started putting it in decks.
This is an auto include in.
Yeah. Anytime that there's red and green in a deck, this goes in.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, people can throw it off by like sacking their creature, but
No, they can't.
Yeah.
No, because you target it. You need to have the 4
You have to have all 4 targets in play.
Okay,
Right.
Just to throw it out there, there's a weird little loophole that you can get, and I've fucking done this. So in the rulings, you don't need 4 distinct targets.
Nope,
all right?
You don't.
Yep. So hang on, this is weird and stupid.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. So if, for example, you could choose in the ruling, it says you can choose Tree of Tales for both an artifact and land.
Yes.
And get around it that way.
That's true.
If it's an artifact creature, I believe you can just target that counts as 1. or it counts as 2 rather. You know, if you have a land creature, you could do that. If an enchantment creature, etc. So you can get around it in weird ways like that.
You can, however.
Okay, go ahead.
If your 4 targets don't exist when it resolves, or when it attempts to resolve, this is countered.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
100% it's not.
It's just like Hex.
Nope, it's not. Hex says you need to have the 6.
Yeah.
So if you look at the Oracle text for Decimate, it says you no longer need 4 distinct targets for Decimate. Or sorry, wait a minute, I'm reading.
Yeah. No longer need 4 distinct targets.
But you still need a legal target, enchantment,
They
and
still have to be
creature.
legal targets, or it gets countered. So if the target no longer exists, then it gets countered. They can be the same target. So if you have an artifact creature land enchantment, whatever that monstrosity would be.
I want to see that board state. Yes.
You can decimate all 4 targets to that permanent. However, if that permanent, or if one of the 4 permanents ceases to exist while this is attempting to resolve, it will get countered.
I have had people, I mean, it seemed legit because this guy I was playing against was a judge, and so I just kind of take it for granted he knew what the fuck he was doing. But he has sacked one of them, like I think he sacked a land or something in response to this, and then I was very sad.
Yeah, it just counters it.
Yeah, so.
Okay, why does it counter it?
Because it no longer has a legal target. And you have to do all 4.
Yeah, and it needs all the targets. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be distinct targets. But if it's got multiple places, all of those targets have to exist by the time the spell resolves.
That said, still an amazing card. There's an infamous thing in my play group where we always say like hashtag all 4 targets, and that was because of me, because somebody on like turn 4 or turn 3 like hit my Soul Ring, my bounce land, like Mana Dork, and something like all of mine, and I was like, oh my god! And I killed that person, and then I lost the rest of the game.
It's called Decimate for a reason, man. Yeah.
and the art. See, the laser beam art has to exist because the laser beam art, it is literally shooting the ground, shooting his weapon, shooting the aura around him, and shooting him.
Yeah. It's real good. Whereas, like, the other art is just like some shit's falling in a temple. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah, I don't get it. But
it's cheaper, but that's not cool. Like, and this is only a $2 card anyway. So, go for the original, man.
Oh yeah.
I actually have a foil of the Conspirator.
Oh god. Oh, of the Conspirator. I thought you were going to see the original. I was like,
no,
is that $1 million?
And I keep it in a binder, and I play the original one over the foil one.
I give 0 shits about foil cards, but this is one card I might actually foil, and it's like $13.50, like $13.50, I think.
For the original one?
Yeah, for the original and foil, apparently.
That's not that bad.
It's bad for me.
That can't be right.
Looking at
it's got to be like $50.
Hey, look, I'm just counting off what it says on good old MagicCards.info, which is pulling it from TCG Player, so...
Yeah, you're not wrong. Jesus, yeah, it's only like $12-13.
Yeah, I mean, hey man,
that might be worth.
I might have to go buy a foil Decimate now. Yeah. Anyway, folks, so that's gonna wrap it up for the 2-for-1 or 3-for-1 or perhaps 4-for-1 category this week. Whatever, we've just thrown convention out the window, so it doesn't matter. So stick around, folks. We're gonna move right on into the outro. Yay, outro.
See, we could have talked about Hex if it was going to be a 6-for-1.
Yeah, I'm really, my parade's been shit on by this whole gotta have 4 fucking targets.
Yeah, Decimate is a cruel mistress in many directions.
I am fucking sad I didn't put a Hex on here, though. I actually play that card. That card is shit.
It's real bad.
That card is dog shit. Oh my god. Yeah.
There's probably more times where you have to target your own stuff in order to make that go.
every time. At least one of my things is dying every single time I fucking cast that card.
Yeah, that's not good.
Oh, boy. Well, folks, we have come to the end of yet another episode of Commander Cast. Thank you for sticking with us all through our 2-for-1 craziness and our saltiness about Brawl. You know, it's ironic because one of the cards was the Rain of Salt, which I think we probably should have just called the community segment this week. Oh well. So, Mike, if people want to get in touch with you over the interwebs, if they want to reach out and encourage you to be on more episodes of Commander Cast, how can they reach you, man?
You can reach me at Reddit. I'm user MTG Metaman. Please send me messages about how much you like Brawl so that I can send you messages about how shitty a person you are.
No aggression.
None.
No, that's good. So we're keeping the Rain of Salt going. It's fine.
Yeah.
Mike has no strong feelings one way or the other about Brawl. It's good. We encourage like a nice, median, neutral aspect on the show. So.
I encourage discussion so that I can shut you down about how shitty Brawl is.
Well, Mike, what are you going to do the first time somebody breaks out? Like, what if it's... Let me paint the scene here, right? Like, I'm a 13-year-old kid. So, like, I'm just coming off a standard. I meet you in an LGS on your trips around the province, and I'm like, hey, buddy, want to sit down and play Brawl? Like, and you respond with...
Okay, so I said to my friend Nick, we were talking about this the other day, and... Nick and I are talking, and I explained to him what Brawl was, and I said, first person to ask if I want to play Brawl is going to get told to fuck off. And Nick replies, because we're text messaging, he goes, I'm going to make a deck right now. I said, make a Tiny's Leaders deck while you're at it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I'm probably just going to laugh at them and tell them to go play with their friends, because it's just so shitty.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a non-thing anyway. Like, what was Tiny Leaders around for? Like, maybe a year? Like,
I think a year, it was probably pretty hot. I think it was kind of creeping up for like a year prior to that, but yeah, it was really hot for like a year.
Yeah. And
now, with the Tiny Leaders, though, I mean, there was a change in the market for the cards, the commanders that cost 3 mana or less, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like, there was an actual economic impact to Tiny Leaders.
Oh, you mean like $100 Fire Song?
Yeah. I mean, there was a really weird bump, though. There was speculation in that. Like, that's why...
There was a lot more spec in that. But it was also combined with the fact that these were EDH playable and good EDH playable cards. They were good modern cards. So they had, like, 3 markets compounding on them. The popularity of Tiny Leaders augmented it.
Sure. Not really. Like, if you look at, like, the Legends, like Ziria Aaron, right?
Okay, that's...
Yeah, okay.
Shit.
I mean...
Yeah.
So I had a white border Ziria Aaron, and when Tiny Leaders came out, everybody was all, "Oh shit, you should sell me that card." And I'm like, it's fucking garbage. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? But then Tiny Leaders comes out, and it jumps up from being like a $3 or $4 card to all of a sudden it's at $10 now.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's why Geist of St. Traff jumped going crazy.
Yeah.
I remember that was the biggest hit. It was all of a sudden like Geist of St. Traff was like a $25, $30 card. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. I still like Geist of St. Traff, but
it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not amazing. I guess it was amazing in Tiny Leaders. What the shit does that mean? I don't know. So, Adam, if people want to, I don't know, if they want to hit you up and maybe talk to you about, maybe how Vandal Blast is not really
the definition of target.
That's just whatever. Off the top of my head. We're gonna hit you up.
You can hit me up on Twitter at Squire9999 or at the Trinosphere.
Nice. Yeah, I can't remember when this goes up. Are we into gameplay or are we into actual?
Is this one actually going up 2 days from now?
No, a week from now, or maybe 2 weeks actually.
I think it's probably going to be.
And I have no idea.
All right, well, we're fine. Whatever. No, go watch the Trinosphere people
podcast.
Yeah. go watch the Chinster. That's what you need to do. So.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, hey, as long as we're onto it, and this is the outro anyway, it's a good place for some shameless self-promotion. Like, we are also on ehrec.com, folks.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of delay between, when our stuff goes up on our site, when our stuff goes up on iTunes or YouTube, and when it hits EHREC, but, keep those eyes open there. I'm trying to think, there's also another, I want to say, like, Player FM, I think, or Spotify, I think we're also on, too. I should know where the fuck my podcast goes. I don't, because I'm failing.
Some of them get
things.
propagated based on iTunes.
Yeah, Player FM used to get propagated that way. I'm not sure if it still does, but whatever. I don't know. I don't necessarily always want to just like throw it to iTunes. I don't even think that like the generic iTunes podcast player is even very good anymore. I would prefer to probably use another app, but I'm just lazy. So then I'd have to go reprogram and go find all my other feeds. I listen to too many podcasts. So, but anyway, folks. If you would want to blast something out to all of us here on the cast, hit us up at commandercast@gmail.com or on the Twitters at commandercast. You can also check out our Commandercast Facebook page. And a big thanks to everyone here at the Commandercast Network. We will see you guys next week with more community, strategy, and technology, specifically from the best 25 years of Magic. So until then, let's get it!